You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, ladies? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Ladies Lounge, in which I'm always giving you the tea as in the truth, sharing spiritual wisdom and knowledge, speaking on issues and surrounding, reality stars, reality shows. I don't too much do any reviews, but what I try to do is reiterate on topics surrounding certain individuals in which we all can learn from, and certain mistakes don't have to be made. It just takes observation, just observing and paying attention and seeing how poor choices, how the consequences lay out for those who choose to make bad decisions, and how when you don't use your best judgment, just paying attention and observing those who have not made the right decisions, and just taking note of that and applying it, and making sure that you don't fall into those same type of entrapments. You feel me? So that's my purpose of going into today's sermon. The truth is, as much as we would love to have this Tyler Perry magical dream of meeting a man, our knight in shining armor, that comes into our lives to rescue us, to save us from a distressed situation, from a broken heart, from a broken childhood, and we want to be saved, and I think that's in a woman's nature to want to be saved. As hard up as we try to act, even those of us who are headstrong, self-sufficient, highly independent, run our own businesses, pay for our own houses, pay for our own cars. It's in a woman's nature to want to be saved, to want to be loved, to want to be valued. God designed us to want to be desired. After all, he did not put Adam here first. Adam was used to living off bread alone. God created woman for man. He didn't create a woman. He didn't create a woman for a man to have. He created us for a man to have us, if that makes any sense. So we're not spiritually designed to not desire wanting a man. Yes, and I know some of you sisters are going to argue and debate with me in the chat room. I don't need a man. I'm fine by myself. I don't even need the father of my child around. I'm the mother. I'm the father. Whatever you have implanted in your brain to convince yourself not to want a man, not to desire your man, that has become your defense mechanism, because so many men have disappointed you. And when it comes to disappointment, how we cope with disappointment is we learn to no longer yearn for it. We learn to no longer want it. It's no different than doctor telling you that you're type 1 diabetic, and now you have to sustain and avoid things that are loaded with carbs, anything that loaded with sugars. So you tell yourself, I no longer want chocolate. I don't like chocolate. I don't like soda, and this is just your way of making sense to yourself, your reason to not desire the things that you truly desire, because you know subconsciously it's something you're struggling not being able to have and obtain anyway. So the best way to avoid disappointment is by not wanting it. It's like wanting a job, but at the same time you're telling yourself, well, if I don't get the job, I'm good, you know. And you go to the interview, sure enough, the people tell you, you know, hey, we don't think you're qualified for what we're looking for. And in the back of your mind when you leave, you know, the interview, hell, I didn't want that job anyway. But subconsciously, you feel rejected. You feel denied, because had you not needed the job, you never would have went to it in the first place. Okay, just some little extra psychology for y'all, just in case, right? By the way, hit that like button. Anybody who's entering the chat room, I would definitely appreciate that. So, I wanted to go in today's sermon. You know, I want to talk about when you choose. Pulling up my little slide thing, y'all, because I got so many sermons and I want to make sure I'm on the right topic. But basically, when you choose a man that's of low value, how he becomes a liability. This happens very often because women by nature, we are nurturers. We always try to nurture something. Why? Because by nature we are nurturers. We nurture our children. We breastfeed our babies. If we don't breastfeed, we hold them. We feed them. You know, we comfort them. That's just in our nature, to be loving, to be caring. And nothing is wrong with that, but it becomes a problem when you try to use your nature to nurture a grown man who does not value you as a woman, who does not appreciate you as a woman, who does not see any value within you. That's when it definitely becomes a problem. So you have a lot of women out here, and not just male. It's quite a few that we've witnessed pick up a man from the bottom, a man from a struggle, and we try to bring them up into our world and make them something that they're not really qualified and designed to be, because we want to see what we want to see. And we don't look at the liabilities. The problem is we look at the potential. Well, you know, I know he doesn't have any college degrees. I know he has a criminal record. You know, I know that, you know, he has multiple baby mamas. But if only I could, you know, take this man in, take him on, you know, dress him up, better him, make him better than what he is. Maybe, just maybe, you know, I can make him be what I need him to be for me. And I don't know how many of y'all are very familiar with the store called, I need another chair because I'm getting tired of this. I need some WD-40 or something, y'all. Sister in the struggle, so, you know, dismiss the squeaky chair, right? But if y'all ever remember the store, and I've done this analogy a couple of times on my other co-ed channel, Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where men and women congregate over there. I have to put some content over there soon too. It's been a while since I've uploaded over there. But anyway, if y'all don't remember, there was always the store at the mall called Build-A-Bear. Okay? And remember, if y'all don't recall, the store consisted of kids going into the store, and there's a bunch of bears, you know, within the store. And that child was able to go into that store, pick out any bear. But this is the thing. The bear, all of the bears have absolutely nothing on them. They're just plain bears, right? The Build-A-Bear store had it to where there were several accessories available within the store. You could clothe and dress and put anything you wanted on that bear and make that bear what you wanted that bear to be. They had cute little shoes, cute little vests, cute little pants, all these accessories for the bear, in which the child can choose how to dress that bear. You know, and that's what made Build-A-Bear a fun store and different compared to most stores for kids, because it actually gave the kids something constructive to do. You don't just buy a bear. You buy the bear and you let that kid pick out all the accessories to dress up the bear to have fun with it. That's what made Build-A-Bear a fun store. I'm not sure how, I'm surprised it's surviving this long, especially with online and, you know, Amazon. I'm surprised it hasn't filed bankruptcy, but nevertheless, you know, I don't want to speak life. Bankruptcy. I rebuke that spirit over Build-A-Bear, but you get my drift. You're able to get the bear and dress it up, right? The concept pretty much is the same when it comes to building a great value, which I would consider really a low value, because I don't see anything great about it. But the reason I say great value men is because you do have, you know, a lot of these men, unfortunately, you know, thanks to social media, who are being poisoned with the Kevin Samuels concept of just being a man alone is enough to give you superiority over a woman. Even if you don't work, even if you don't have a job, even if you lack ambition, the fact that you are a man and she is willing to be with you, knowing your situation, you're automatically of great value. But nevertheless, you get women who take on these build-a-bums, which I call projects, meaning you have to work on them, you have to build them, you have to invest and put in a lot with them in order to see some, in order to hope that you potentially benefit in some form or another out of all of the hard work that you put into them. It's too many women that are picking up build-a-bums. You pick these dudes up that come from nothing, dress them up, you know, and give them this lifestyle. And I never forget, I heard this drag queen one time say, honey, the worst thing you could do is pick a man, pick a man in your life who ain't wearing nothing but sneakers, dirty sneakers, and introduce him to gator shoes. He gonna walk right out your life with them same gator shoes. And that is the truth. When you choose these men, these bottom feeders from the bottom, and you bring them up to your level, meaning you dress them up, you taking them from a broken childhood, maybe he had mommy issues, daddy issues, a daddy not being having an active role in his life, or if he did have a father, it was a father who really lacked masculine qualities, or you know, he's not educated, you know, whatever place in which you meet a man that is broken, whether if this is family life, his finances, education, or whatever, and you introduce him to the best of things, you dress him up. I mean, the dude used to wear, you know, K-Swiss, you know what I'm saying, from Shoe City. Now you got this man wearing Dolce & Gabbana, you know what I mean. He went from, you know, wearing patches in his pants, and now, you know, he's wearing Armani suits. You know, you brought this man from nothing and made him into something, and now he thinks that he is better than you. And not only that, the man becomes a liability. When you get a broken man that comes from nothing, that's not used to nothing, and you make him into something, Now he becomes a liability. And let me give you some more insight on that. Make sure y'all hit that like button for everybody who's coming in. He becomes a liability because he is not used to the best. He's not understanding that he is in a blessed situation. Now, don't get me wrong. There's been some exceptions. Judge Greg Mathis, he would tell you. He was a thug. He was a problem child. In and out of the system. You know, he done been incarcerated. And yet, his wife took him in, helped him to clean his act up, paid for him to go through law school, for him to become the successful man that he is today. Very rarely do you have exceptions like that where you could pick a man from the bottom, bring him to the top, and now you both are enjoying the fruits of his labor. No, he did not leave you and got with a white girl, or got with an Asian girl, or Kim Kardashian lookalike after he struggled with you, paying his way. He didn't do the Steve Harvey, okay? You have some men who actually stand by the women and respect the women who played a big part in their success. And you have others like Martell, like Steve Harvey, like Kevin Hunter. These men start standing on top of the women that made them. And in some instances, you have had some men who made their women. Nobody would not know who they were had it not been for them associated to their success, you know. And you have women who do the same thing. After they're successful, famous, well-known husbands, bring them up and introduce them to this life of luxury. All of a sudden, they don't want nothing else to do with them. You know, maybe she got tired of him cheating on the road, or got tired of him being controlling, whatever the case is, and they get the money and the alimony and child support, and they out, deuces. So you have women who do it as well, you know, and you have women who do it. But with women, it's more of a liability for us because, let me tell you something, a broke man is very relentless. You know, a man who didn't already have something going for himself, he is worse than a female. We know women, that's the first thing they're going to do. Women are going to go for the pockets. Women are going to go for alimony. And I get it. We're living in times now where, you know, women got equal rights. You know, hell, if men got to pay alimony, women got to pay it too. But very rarely do you have men who try to fight neck to neck, especially if he already is well off and he already was financially well established. He already has his own legacy, you know. Basically, you being with him or not being with him ain't gonna shake or break anything. Like producer Dr. Dre, you know, when his, you know, Snow Bunny wife decided to leave him, you know, the divorce was ugly, but it didn't break him. You know, he's still producing, he's still making money. You know, that's why he was able to take the L and not think nothing of it. You know, he paid her little alimony. Kids are grown, so he didn't have to pay no child support. So yeah. He had to break off some millions, but it wasn't enough to break him because the man was already a millionaire. You get what I'm saying? So what he had to give his ex-wife was crumbs compared to his empire. And that's why to this day, she's still a little bitter about the divorce because she wanted the majority of Dr. Dre's empire and she didn't get it. She had got a small percentage of the pie. But again, that was because Dr. Dre was already well off and already was successful. When you get these men who aren't successful, like the Martells and the Kevin Hunters, these are the ones that want to fight you nail to nail, tooth to tooth. Why? Because they are lazy, they are bums, and they are used to controlling their woman's success. That's just the God's honest truth. A lazy man is worse than a lazy woman. One thing for a woman to be lazy because she can get some type of financial assistance, whether if it's government, you know, the system is going to have some type of leniency or empathy to a degree when it comes to women. But men don't have that same luxury. Very rarely can men get child support. Very rarely can they get housing, food stamps, or they don't. The system does not really aid to men like they do women. And the truth of the matter is, there will be a man that will pick up a woman and take care of her before you find a woman that'll pick up a man and take care of a man. You do have some sugar mamas, but we're talking about the majority, not the minority. Most of the time, the men got to be the one bringing in the bank. And for the men who don't bring in the bank, who depend on their wives, who depend on their women, and that relationship goes sour, and he no longer has access to that bank account. He no longer can control and tell her what to spend the money on and what not to spend the money on. Now he's out there left to dry, and he's constantly thinking of malicious ways in which he can get some money out of the successful woman who he mistreated. Because the truth is, if the majority of these men, if they would have just treated their successful wives right, just followed the protocol, they still would have had their marriage. Kevin Hunter still would have had Wendy Williams had he not gotten Sharina Hudson pregnant. Because truth is, Wendy Williams would allow Kevin Hunter to cheat in peace. The one thing she said to him was, just do not get any babies. And Wendy Williams was very adamant about that, because you got to realize she had a hard time conceiving, having children. That's a very, very weak, vulnerable spot for her. And it took her a lot to have Kevin Jr. But nevertheless, God blessed her with one son. And then, same thing with Martell. Melody was trying to give this man time to change his ways, willing to accept all of the cheating, the disrespect, until he got Air Mattress pregnant. That killed everything, you know. And it's more than one way to be disrespected. A man having a child on you is the ultimate, utmost disgraceful thing that he can do. But it's so many ways of disrespect. You have had women who had to leave men who never had a child on them, when he was abusive, when he drinks, you know, he has no control over his anger. It's several ways in which a man can take you down, other than having a child on you. You know, not to say that we should overlook this type of behavior, but what I'm saying is there have been women who have left men who have violated them in some form or another. And then you have had relationships in which that man and woman was able to survive. And instead of that situation dismantling their marriage, they use that situation to make them stronger. Now, whether if you want to think she's stupid or dumb, that's her decision. There's certain things that women would tolerate that other women won't, and you never really know unless you cross that bridge how you're going to handle it and how you're going to deal with it, because pain is very strange and makes you react to things in ways that you never could even have imagined yourself. But these men become a liability, because you have to realize a lazy man, you know, men by nature are already aggressive. Men are more aggressive than women by nature. And that's in a good and a bad way, all right? But in a bad way, meaning we've seen these men like Kevin Hunter and Martell go back and forth the court, back and forth the court. Kevin Hunter is relentless. Talking about pouring water on a drowning man. He knows that Wendy is not mentally capable of battling and fighting with him. So what he's doing, he's going after her guardian, the guardian of her estate. You know, the woman who's over her finances. And he is relentlessly and consistently running to the courthouse. The same energy he utilizing and running to that courthouse to keep filing paperwork for Wendy's team to release her statements or her income the last 3 months. That's the same last couple of months. That's the same energy he could have been using to go get a job. The man don't want to work. Why? Because he's so used to living clean off of his ex-wife, Wendy Williams. She created a spoiled child. This man knows nothing about getting up working a hard day's working a job, working a hard day's work. It's foreign to him. For him to know at his age, what I think he's in his late 40s or whatever now, to go out here and work now, that would be, and I don't say this with empathy or sympathy. Trust me, I'm not saying we should empathize with him. But at his age now, that's a lot for him. Now, a man who's used to working, who's been working since his 20s, 30s, he could still work at 40, 50, 60, long as he is in good health. You know, he can maintain. Kevin Hunter will probably pass out and die quick if he were to get a job. Have to realize this man has not had to work for over 10 years within a duration with Wendy. All he did was walk around and point fingers and give instructions. Pop up to the Wendy Williams show, and from what I know, from what I learned, none of the staff for Wendy ever even liked Kevin Hunter, because he came up there just to show his face and give orders to make it like he was doing something. And Wendy would let him. That's her husband. And it would frustrate, I can imagine that would frustrate anybody if you've always known only his wife working and calling shots, and he just pops up once in a blue moon like a bad rash. Hey, why that microphone over there? Hey, why y'all lunch break so late? Dude, you don't even work here like that. Your wife is the main one that we working for. But you want to do pop-up appearances to make it look like you really an executive director. I forgot what role he had, but his name was somewhere on the show, because I remember it would pop up during the credits. And that was only because Wendy was married to him and that was her husband. So it was supposed to be like a partnership. But this is the liability, right? This is the liability part. When you take a man and you help him to put his name into your investment, name into your brand, and he's absolutely not contributing towards that, he becomes a liability, because that means he has too much time on his hands. What does that mean? Well, when he has too much time on his hands, he starts overindulging in other things that are inappropriate. A man without a plan is a woman's worst nightmare. He is a liability. Kevin Hunter is a bum. And I'm saying alleged. Anything I say in this video is alleged based off of my own opinion, for educational and entertainment purposes only. That's my disclaimer. The man is a bum. He was nothing but a pretty boy, unemployed Floyd. And not that I think he's fine or attractive, but in Kevin Hunter's mind, he thought he was that dude. And you can tell the way he would pose and take pictures with Wendy on the red carpet, like, I'm the ish, I'm the ladies' man. You can tell he had this cocky, arrogant, nasty aura about him, in which he thinks he's God's gift to women. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, a man becomes a liability when he's living off your name, living off your brand, but he's not putting in any footwork. The same thing with Martell. Only thing Martell knew how to do was dress good, be the well-dressed husband. That's the only thing I ever seen Martell do. If y'all seen him do something else, correct me in the comment. I only seen Martell know how to dress well. In them conferences, Melody was doing most of the talking. In those meetings, Melody was doing most of the talking. In his echelon events, Melody was doing most of the talking. Martell would say 1 or 2 words. Melody was the breadwinner. Martell was the at-home dad who would never strive to have more or do more. With the kind of mindset Melody had, all he had to do was get his builder license, and they could have had more than one business going. Then what would have happened is, if things didn't work out, he would have had something to fall back on. But see, one thing about a loser will use whoever they can use, and not even realizing they messing their own self up, because when things go left later on, you have nothing to fall back on. When you with a loser, they really don't think about what they could possibly lose. And that is what happened. That's why Kevin Hunter, all them years he was with Wendy, all the clout, all the pull, all the connections, Kevin Hunter could have had several businesses. the kind of mindset Melody has, the kind of businesswoman, driven, motivation Melody has, Martell could have had his own thing going, and Melody would have helped him execute that, because Melody wants the best, she strives for the best, and she believes in doing her best. No, y'all want a woman who does their best, so your lazy ass caress. That's what it boils down to. Kevin Hunter did nothing. Now he's with nothing, and trying to fight Wendy for everything she has. Same thing with Martell. Tried to fight to get the kids. Tried to fight to get Sugar Mama products. Tried to go into courts for all type of tedious things. Anything to make sure that Melody will have to financially contribute towards him in a succubus. And it's been an epic fail. A man becomes a liability when you notice he will not take advantage of opportunities by creating their own businesses. Hell, start your own car wash. Start a youth program. Anything to which, if something happens to your wife or y'all get divorced, you have something to fall back on. These men didn't do that. You don't want a man who don't got a plan, because when he gets used to you dressing him, feeding him, and now you get to a place in which you just don't want to do it no more because he's disrespectful, he's grimy, he's not respecting the marriage, you gonna catch hell getting rid of this dude, because he went 10 plus years being a pretty boy. You expect him at this time in his life, even though he's not an old man, he should be able to just go out there and get a job. Y'all got to realize these men are used to not working. Ain't no just go get a job. That's like if you've been a housewife for 25, 30 something years, and your husband passed away or something, and he don't have no SSI, no income or nothing for you to live off of. Now you 50, 60, you got to goddamn work. When you were just an at-home wife, cooking, cleaning, keeping the kids, it takes you out of your element. Don't get a man that's not used to working. If you're going to put him on, you have to pay attention and see if he's one of those dudes that's just going to lay and lamp and chill on you, or is he going to do his own thing? That way y'all both could win. Versus him just laying up and depending on you. He becomes a liability. Because when things don't go right, he's going to go to court and fight you. Because you done made these men spoiled children. Who are you now, 10 years later, telling me I got to work a regular job? These men will fight you first before you put them in a position in which now they got to take care of themselves. Why you think Kevin Hunter is so adamant? He's been fighting to see documents for ain't no telling how long, no telling how many times. I know the judges in the courts are sick of seeing Kevin Hunter and Martell. They won't tell these grown men, y'all need to go get a job. That's part of being a man. A man who don't work don't get fed. They sit up here and entertain the shenanigans of these builder-bums and keep allowing them to bring these paperwork to courts. Only tell them the same thing over and over. We cannot grant you any income. We cannot grant you any access to the bank accounts. We just can't grant it. But the pretty boy, unemployed Floyd, the builder-bum, is going to fight to the end. Kevin's going to fight for Wendy Williams' money until he get a goddamn stroke. Why? Because he has to take care of that baby mama. Which brings me to my next point. Once a man has disrespected the marriage and violated you, and worst case scenario, get itself in a bad jam, whether if it's, creating another child on the outside. We'll just go with that, since Kevin and Martell both did the same thing. You have to realize these are men who don't like to work. These are men who never really worked. They don't have true work ethics. Because again, they always leaned on their wives. wives. These wives created these little boys who now are forced to be men. And what tends to happen is that when they knock these women up, and a lot of that has to do with because he had too much time on his hands. A man who has ambition, a man who has responsibilities, he won't get into near as much trouble compared to a man that has none. Now, at the end of the day, I mean, a man can work his behind off and still get himself in some situations, okay? But the stakes are higher when he has nothing going for him because he has too much time in his hands to lay up and cock up and clap somebody else's cheeks. That's what happened. While they hard-working wives, while Wendy was doing her shows, doing her hot topics, Kevin was out there getting that hot pocket. That was a good one. I got to say that again, y'all. When Wendy Williams was doing her shows, doing the hot topics, Kevin Hunter was out there getting them hot pockets. And goddamn it, if somebody else uses that line, y'all better tell me because I don't want nobody stealing my stuff and not giving me no credit. That's what he was doing. Laying up with Sharina Hudson while Wendy Williams and doing these shows, doing these topics, knowing what's going on, and it's taking a toll on her health because she knows that Kevin Hunter is still going to do him. But she got a brand to protect. She has revenue to protect. So she's allowing the disrespect, hoping that it just doesn't get too far out of hand. And what happens? Again, these men become a liability. When you allow them to cheat in peace, it becomes a liability because when you allow that, it leaves room for more things to happen. You think he's just going to cheat, he's just going to cheat. You're not looking for no baby to come out of it. You're not looking for no child support. But when you give a pass on one thing, that you give the enemy, you give the devil room to bring other stuff, extra things. That's the chance you take when you let them cheat in peace. Just saying. And my sisters out there that's allowing this to happen, right? So, as a result of that, he's smashing this chick, gets her pregnant. You got to realize, the wife finds out, she divorces him. This man don't have no income. But yet, he has another responsibility. So, what else is he going to do? He's not looking at the fact, I'm wrong. That's the reason I lost my marriage. Because I cheated on my wife and disrespected her and got another baby. He has the audacity to say, yeah, okay, I messed up, but I still need money. Because now, not only I got to take care of myself like I've been doing when I was living off of you, now I got this other mouth to feed. Liability. When they are allowed to cheat in peace, they become a liability. Some men learn from their mistakes. That's 2 out of 2,000. 2% out of 2,000, okay? Who learn and do better. Most of them do not, okay? That becomes a liability. They want you to pay for their mistakes. Why? Because they're used to you paying for them. That's a no-brainer. No different than having a child. You have a child that you always bail out. That child sneaks the car, wrecks the car, crashes it, you buy another car. And every time, they don't learn from it because they're so used to you just bailing them out. You go and get another car, you go and get another, What's the learning? Now you making the child become a liability because you're not letting her or him learn from their mistakes that's costing you. So, a man who disrespects the marriage and has been given that privilege to cheat in peace, whatever other obstacle comes out of it, he still expects you to be the one to fix it, to help him compensate for it. Even though it required you being disrespected in the process, he still is looking for you to help him fix it because you've always fixed everything. Another reason these great value men, and y'all know I mean that sarcastically, become a liability is because when they see the wife will not give in, they become a danger. They become a threat to that woman's well-being. We've seen Martell stalk. We've seen Martell try to come at male aggressively, and fortunately people were standing there to stop him. Kevin Hunter, I've seen him come on live trying to justify his actions, and it just shows me how much of a narcissistic ninja he is. Listen, a broke man is a dangerous man. He's a liability. When he knows he has to go back to the streets and struggle, listen, several men been in a situation, they have unalived their wives, or unalived the children, or hurt the wives, because they are just that hell bent on you no longer giving them that control, meaning that access to that bankroll. They no longer have control when you take access of that bankroll. So what does he do? He rebels like the little boy that he is. He acts out. Here comes the tantrums. Here comes the threats and the disrespect. Trying to intimidate you enough to scare you, to hoping you'll give in. Oh, let me just give him this money. Let me just give him alimony. Let me just pay him and his side chick, his coleslaw, his salad. Let me just go ahead and pay the both of them so I can live in peace. That's what they hoping. They just hoping they shake you to and break you to the point to where you just give in because you don't want to be bothered no more. And that's the worst thing you could do. But many women have done it. You've had women so scared of these builder bums, they just will say, listen, I just want to pay him to get him out my life. Let me say something. The great value man, once he's become a liability, you can't never pay him enough. You don't even want to start. Listen, if Melody did want to be like that and say, listen, I'll just send him a one-time payment, so I ain't got to worry about it. Let me send him $90,000. Do you not know that will only make him come back for more? He's not going to take that one, token and just be satisfied and go on about his business. It's just going to make him more disastrous, more monstrous. You can never pay a broken man as a liability. There's no such thing as paying him to go away. He would never go away because he's broke. He lacks ambition. He has nothing to fall back on. He don't want to fall back on nothing but your damn money. That's it. Ain't no go get no job. Y'all can preach that all day. I see the women in the comment section. I get y'all saying, Martell need to get a job. Kevin Hunter need to get a job. That's the thing. Their job was living off their woman. Ain't no hit no time clock. That's not about to happen. We can repeat that till we blue in the face, right? That's why you got to be careful. Putting these men on, giving them so much, and they're not putting in the work. Not wrong with spoiling your man. I'm not telling women, don't spoil your man. Show him a good time. Buy him the best of things. But he got to be a man that's working for it. Let him work for him. Let him work hard enough for you to want to spoil him. He already laying around not doing nothing. How much you're spoiling him? Then on top of that, you're going to buy his clothes, buy his shoes. He lays there all day. Listen, Martell thought he was slick being a full-time dad so he could avoid going out there having a full-time job. Listen, to all my women out there, be careful with these men that are wonderful fathers, so they say they just want to stay home and keep the kids. That's nothing but a setup. That's a setup so they can avoid working. But some of you women so glad to have a baby daddy because you see so many other women don't have the children, their father with them and struggling by themselves being single parents. You just glad to have him around. Guess what? She's more better off than you because at least it's just her that's a liability to herself. She ain't got her sorry trifling baby daddy laying off her, living off her, benefiting off her too. Just because his presence is there, it does not alleviate or bring any real relief to you. That's just the bottom line. He becomes dangerous because he's not understanding. He's wasting time trying to fight for more money. He's wasting time going back and forth to the courts. He's wasting time trying to fight to get all this evidence. And when he has ran and exhausted, and there's still he still is not getting the results, meaning the judge didn't grant him that alimony, the judge didn't grant him child support or whatever he was trying to seek, the more he spirals into the Tasmania devil that he is. And now he says, you know what, I'm going to have to do something really, really, really disastrous. These are the men who unalive the wives. These are the men who pay and hire the hitmen. These are the men that are doing the stalking. These are the men who are threatening. These are the men who are hurting the children, who still have custody of the children. That's why Martell was doing what he was doing. It's all about, she won't give me what I want, so I'm just going to make her suffer. I'm going to use what I can use to make her suffer, hoping that if I hurt the kids or I do or attack her in other ways, she'll get tired of it and she'll give in. I'll break her down to where she'll just be like, okay, I'll pay you. Anything to protect their kids. It's sad, but when you're dealing with the mindset of the narcissistic ninja, they have no filter for how far they will go to prove a point. We hear stories every day. Men who unaliving their baby mama, anybody that, their ex-wife, just to prove a point. They don't even care about going to prison. I mean, even though you know your freedom is at stake, now you really not going to get no money. Now you really not going to have access to your children. When they get to that place to which they just don't care, because that's just how much they see no value in life. They don't care who they hurt or how far they got to go, you know what I'm saying, to get their point across. That's what the enemy does. Kill, steal, and destroy. Be mindful of what state and condition you meet these men in. If you meet them in a situation in which they down on their luck, wait for that man to get himself together. Ain't no moving him in and helping him get himself together. No, you need to have yourself together before you get with me. Ain't no buying him drawers, buying him shoes to help him get a job. He's a grown man. Let him fend for himself. Date him until he gets to where he needs to be. Ain't no moving him in. Ain't no getting your kids attached. Ain't no getting pregnant from him. None of that. Let a man be a man. In the long run, he'll respect you for it, and not mostly that. He will have his own thing going for him. He will have his own he will basically have his own resources. If you make yourself the constant source, what he got, what is it about trying to motivate himself? Why should he motivate himself? When you're doing it all, you helping him, you making life easy for him. Why should he go the extra mile? Why would he try to better himself? You already doing everything for him. Other ways of how they become a liability, you got to look at their upbringing. Look how they was raised. Look at how he has enablers surrounding him. His mama, his daddy, his friends. Nobody's not checking him. Nobody's not checking him. He becomes a liability because what it is, everybody's making him think he's right. And all their rights gonna count more than your one wrong. All he needs is a cheerleader team to camp for him. And a cape for him, cap for him. Yeah, you right. She shouldn't be doing that. If your ex-husband, baby daddy, whoever has a lot of yes men around him, he's a liability. Because your voice alone is not going to be enough to make him see where he is in error. Too many yes men, he's a liability. If he's on drugs, abusive, he's a liability. He does not have a job. He does not have revenue. He does not have income. He's a liability. If he put himself in a situation in which he created more children, he created another baby mama, he's not a liability. All of these situations, he's stalking you, trying every little opportunity to sabotage you. He's a liability. Definitely a liability. So be careful, ladies, when trying to build with these so-called great value men who think so highly of themselves to where they don't have to get their nails dirty, they don't have to get down and work and get clean, they don't have to go and handle business. They're used to you doing that. And now you don't want to be married to him? You think he's just supposed to waltz right back out there and get another job? Make things happen? When the last 10, 15 years, he has no work reference. What he's going to be able to tell the next person to help them get a job? To help them get a job? Sir, well, you haven't worked the last 10 years. Oh, well, you know, my wife, you know, she is the one with the builder's license. I was living off of her. What is he going to say? What is Kevin Hunter going to say? Well, you know, I made a living off of my wife producing her own show until she got ill. Man, ain't about to go work no goddamn well. That's not about to happen. Only thing they gonna work is your goddamn nerves, because they're gonna keep going to court, fighting every chance they get, because that's just how much they don't want to work. Be careful creating these builder bums into a project, because they're gonna always look for you to be the one to fix things for them. So anyway, y'all, what y'all thought about today's topic? Do y'all think that building a great value man becomes a liability, or do you feel like it just all kind of matters? I remember I met my husband. He was not 100% in his best state. He had stuff going on. Now, he had jobs. You know, he had always had work ethics. Drove trucks. You know, everything. But he had issues. You know, from a previous relationship before I got there, that was unresolved. You know, it involved children. You know, it took a lot of adjusting. Ex-wife who was so used to having her way and not understanding that, okay, the game has changed. There's a new sheriff in town. I'm here now. Whatever it was before I got here is not that. And it was well weighed and done before I came. Because I'm not, you know, getting myself in a situation in which you're married to a woman. And I got to wait for you to figure out what you're going to leave and do. No, the chapter was officially closed way before I got in the picture. Everybody had moved on. However, but you get these women who think that they still have some type of ownership. They still have some, let them children be involved and stuff. They still think they got to say so. You have to realize, yeah, you got to say so, but it's a different plank. It's a different plank now. Because not just you and him. He has another relationship. So, the same energy you used to get from him, you're not going to get now. Because he has to take another person's feelings into consideration. But we'll say that for another time. I am going to do a sermon on how to deal with your in-laws. Yes, we're going to get it on the popping. So that's going to be coming up next or whatever. So, anyway, y'all, appreciate y'all hanging out in the lounge. Hit that like button. Anybody want to order cable, hit me up. Mother's Day is coming up. If you need me to make a nice tumbler for moms, inbox me, let me know. Before I make tumblers, I will send you a design so you can see what the tumbler looks like before I press it out and before you send a purchase for payment. Anybody who wants to donate to Mocha's potluck, $2, $3, $5, you're more than welcome to do that. I'm trying to update my equipment so I get better audio sound. So however you choose to bless. Those who cannot send anything, hit that like button. Let those commercials play. When those commercials play all the way out, I get revenue for that. So that's another way you can tie them to the congregation without sending money. Just let the ads flow. Don't interrupt them, and I get revenue for that. So anyway, y'all, it's your great diva knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Ladies Lounge, and I'll be talking to you soon. Take care. Till next time. Have a good weekend. up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is Lady Mocha, your favorite content creator, well, one of your favorite content creators. Just thought that I would do a small presentation on my cable app known as Espresso Streams. So I know a lot of people have been inboxing me, hit me up, needing additional information pertaining to the app, pertaining to my cable app. So I thought it just would be better if I actually uploaded and did a video pertaining to the cable app and all of what it consists of, in case you have any additional questions or concerns. So let's get right into it. So nevertheless, as you can see, this is my widescreen TV, and I already have my Fire Stick inserted in the back. So like I said, for anybody who's interested in my cable, you can either purchase a Fire Stick from me, which is $65 plus shipping. Keep in mind that it will already come loaded with the cable app, so that's less work for you to do. So if you're not technology savvy, if you don't have a lot of patience, if you're not good at enabling settings and things of that nature on your actual Fire Stick, save yourself the headache and just purchase a Fire Stick from me. That way you don't have to do nothing, absolutely nothing, but plug it in your TV. And once you do that, this is what you're going to get. You're going to have the app already loaded there on there for you, which is my IPTV app. Now, if you are pretty high-tech savvy and you pretty much know what you're doing, you know how to load Fire Sticks, and you're pretty good at that, then you could actually just request the download app instructions from me, and then I will email them to you. That way you can upload the app on your own with your own Fire Stick if you already know how to load apps and if you're pretty good with, you know, being technology savvy. But for those of you who are not, don't worry, everybody does not have the patience or the knowledge to be able to deal with technology. Just buy a stick. So this is what we're going to do. So my app is already loaded into my stick. We're going to go directly to IPTV Smartest app. And for those of you who already have a Fire Stick and you don't want to have to buy one from me, this is where you're going to need the instructions from me on how to install my IPTV Smartest app. Okay, so as you can see, we have live TV, we have movies, and we have series. Okay, now you can get up to as many lines as you want. Basically, the way that it works, because I have people asking me, well, what kind of packages do you have? It's not so much packages. It practically has to do with how many lines you want. Don't matter if you get one line. Well, you automatically going to get 2 lines. But any line you get is automatically going to come with 9,000 channels. So starting with the live TV, just to give y'all a little preview of what we have. I always start with USA Entertainment. I always tell my customers to start there, because there's just so many things on this app, y'all. There's just no way in the world I'm going to be able to go through every tiny channel we have. Is just very time consuming. So as you can see, this is and it depends on your internet speed. You do need at least 25 megabytes or higher to get good quality internet. So if you got a bunch of devices running, or if you got that slow, cheap internet, you're going to be scrolling and loading for a long time. So please invest in good internet so you'll have good streaming quality. I've had people who have gotten my app realize that it's doing a lot of freezing. It keeps scrolling, thinking it's my app, and come to find out it had nothing to do with my app. They had internet speed that was in the teens, 15, 13. And I'm like, no wonder your streaming is so pathetic. So listen, to much is given, much is required. You got to get the real internet, not that dial-up mess and none of that, or else you're going to get poor streaming quality. All right, so these are just a sample of some of the channels I got. I got a lot. I got pretty much like several different stations of one channel, but I'll go into that as we get into this. So like for instance, I have 2 Hers, BET Her channel. You know, that's the BET channel for women. So I got 2 of those. And the reason why we have 2 or 3 of certain things is because if one acts up or one is having a hard time that day, you can just automatically go to the next one, okay? So it does happen every once in a while. No different than Netflix, no different than Hulu. You know, when it comes to streaming, it has its moments. So need not to worry. We have a backup of every channel that we have. So I have all the BETs, the Bravos. Going to this Bravo here. Like I said, I'm not going to go through every single thing. It's just way too many to name. As you can see, once you click on the show that you want to watch, you will get a full screen. But we're going to back out of that. So we're just going to go down some more. So I'm going to get out of here. As y'all can see, we have the Court TVs. We have Discovery. We have a little bit of everything for family, husbands, children. For those of you who got kiddies out there, grandkids, let me tell you, they're getting bored with this Netflix. They're getting bored with the same thing over and over and over. Yes, we got Blue's Clues. We got Blueys. We got all this other special kids channels. I don't have any little ones, so I don't know what they're watching now. But we got the SpongeBob. We got a little bit of everything. Listen, only 9,000 channels for $25 a month. You can't beat that. Now, the only way the prices rack up a little bit is if you want extra lines. If you just want 2 lines, it's $25. If you want 4 lines, it's $35. If you want 3 lines, it's $30. So it just depends on how many lines you want. You may just be comfortable with just 2 lines. Now, keep in mind, for how many TVs you want, that's the amount of lines you want. So if you got 5 TVs, you're going to want to get 5 lines, okay? If it's just you and your husband and 1 child or something, or, you know, you may be able to work with 2 lines. So we got the adult tunes here, adult cartoons like Futurama, Beavis and Butthead and all of that. I don't have to show all of that. ESPN, for those of you who got men in your household who love sports, you got a sports fanatic. You may be a sports fanatic yourself. You got some women who are really into all of the different sports, and if it's not a live sport, it's not going to show. That's another thing, y'all. If it doesn't show, it's because it's a live event that either hasn't started or is over with. It does not mean something's wrong with the channel. Now, you got NFL, you got NBA, you got MLB, double NCAA basketball. I also got all the news channels. I have a lot of people who hit me up about that. Yes, you will get your news channel within the state in which you live in. I live here in Savannah, Georgia, and yes, my cable does come with Savannah, Georgia. So if you live in Los Angeles or Colorado or Jacksonville, yes, we have your local cable stations, okay? And if you can't get it, I'm going to throw an extra app on there. That way you will have access to your local news stations. Because I get it. A lot of us are into the news, or we have parents or senior citizens who want to, be up to date with the news. So I have that as well. Now, let me get to some other stuff that I may have not mentioned to y'all. Now, this is one of my, let me get to this one. Premium movies, okay? So for all of y'all who are paying these separate apps for Stars and Cinemax, you're spending a lot of unnecessary money when all you have to do is spend $25 a month. And that way you can get your Stars, Cinemax, and then some. Look at all these Cinemaxes I have, okay? Good quality movies, good quality streaming, nothing raggedy, nothing choppy. It looks just like any other authentic cable provider. We don't have no Section 8 bootleg, nobody walking across the screen, none of that going on. Okay, so all these Cinemaxes, I'm not going to count them all. There's different ones, East, Action Max, blah, blah, blah. Not going to go through all that. MGM, they just added that. I didn't even see that until today. So they keep adding more stuff on here, y'all. And that's the great thing about this kind of cable app. We don't take away. We just keep adding and adding and adding. I never even knew we had an MGM, but learn one now. We got all the HBOs. Check this out, y'all. I got all the HBO comedy, HBO family, HBO zone. All this for $25. How much you paying on your cable right now? $150, $200, $175. Let's keep it moving. Look at all these Showtimes. I didn't see that. Showtime plus BET. I didn't even know no such thing exists. It's just so much stuff on here, y'all. I can't even watch all this stuff. Ain't no way. Only $25 a month. Showtime for women. Look at all these stars. Look at all these stars. Come on now. $25. This ain't no joke. This is legit. Encore. All this is just premium. I can't even keep up, y'all. I can't even keep up. Let me keep scrolling down. Yeah, so that's all the premium. Now, this is this is another little feature. A lot of y'all may like it, don't care about it. But this is called the relaxation channel, where you can just like listen to the ocean view music and things of that nature. So we got that. Now, let me let y'all in on one of my personal favorites. I'm an old school chick, okay? So I'm into the 24/7 classics category. And it shows like a lot of the old school, like Beverly Hills and stuff. Now, every once in a while, if there's a problem, let's say if it's showing something that is not supposed to show, just inbox me and say, Mocha, I went to Beverly Hills and it's showing me the Golden Girls. It does happen every once in the blue moon, not a lot. It happens once in a while. Inbox me so I can hit my team up and we can correct it. So if you go to one of your favorite channels and something is out of order or it's not working, please be specific. Let me know the category. Let me know the name of the show. And please be specific with what's wrong. Let me know there's no audio. Like in other words, there's no sound. Or if you hear a bad sound, say you can tell me there is audio, but it's a lot of staticking. You got to be specific so we can correct the issue. Now, it has Family Matters. This is the classics ones, y'all. Judge Judy, Leave It to Bieber, Living Single, meaning it shows nothing but that 24/7. So if you are a Living Singles fan, right, and that's all you like to watch or whatever, then we'll go to, okay, so Living Single, okay, is acting right. So it'll show Living Single episodes 24/7 if that's all you want to watch. Same thing with Martin. Same thing with My Wife and Kids. I love me some Sanford and Son, okay? So I can watch that all day. I got my TV on Sanford and Son all day and it not even bother me. Now, let's say if you got a business, you got a salon, you a real estate agent, whatever. You have clients, more so places like barbershops. If your husband got a barbershop business or something, he wants cable in there to keep his customers entertained. Instead of him paying for $100 something a month, all he has to do is get a Fire Stick for me and pay $25 a month. That have all of this 9,000 channels. Okay, so if you got a business and you want to keep your customers occupied and you want to save some money, hit me up and get a Fire Stick, 9,000 channel. Look, we got the Cosby Show, y'all. We got the Cosby Show. We got Brady Bunch. We got the Jamie Foxx Show. All of this is the 24 hours. So this one is my favorite. I stay on this one more than anybody, more than any of the categories. So that's probably why I be missing out on, you know, all of these new things that's coming on here. And I love Good Times, okay? I be watching Good Times 24/7. So we got the Sports Center, like I said, for all of you who got husbands, who got boyfriends, who are sports fanatics. I got your husbands, I got your baby daddy, I got them covered. All of this stuff here, I'm not going through all that. NASCAR, volleyball, we just got it all, okay? I just got it all. We got Peacock here. So Peacock, I think it's some type of event, or I don't know, hell. But anyway, we got it. And the other things, in case I'm missing out. Oh, we got live pay-per-view events. So guess what? When those live events come to your house or whatever, on HBO, whatever, you don't have to pay for that. It automatically comes with your package. Yes, the UFCs, all the boxing events, championships. There's no need of me clicking on them because there's no live events, so you're not going to see anything. But whenever there's a live fight, a championship, you're automatically going to get it, okay? So you'll be good on that. You ain't got to pay no extra money. You ain't got to go to nobody's house and pay no admission fee. What else we got going on here? So it's just so much to offer. That's my live TV. I'm going to come up out of that because I want to try to, I think I'm over. Yeah, I'm over 10 minutes. There's so much to cover. But all of these are the movies, okay? Not going to go through all them. As you can see, it's different sections: comedy, horror, mystery, all of that. Documentaries, I got it all. Not going to go through all that. It's just too many. You're just going to have to wait till you get your Fire Stick and do your own navigating. Yes, I got all the current series. Everything you could think of, I have. Let me see. All of the, hell, whatever current series they have out right now, we have all of that. I'm not going to go through all of it. If there's a certain show you want to know about and you want to know if I have it, just inbox me. It's just too many to try to go through. It's just too many. It's just, look, it's 3,000. It's over 3,000 series in this channel, just this category alone. So ain't no way I'm going to be able to go through all that. Classic shows, again, I'm a retro show watcher. So for all of your classic, my old school people, you know, old school shows, we got that too, okay? We got the kids shows, okay? We make sure we look out for the kiddies. We look out for the little ones. We got them too, or whatever. So we have all of this here. So just because you don't see the picture, it does not mean it does not work. We have different episodes, different seasons. So you get to pick whichever season you want to go to. So this is one of these shows. I don't feel like going all into that. Like I said, it's too much to cover. Okay, as you can see, all of it popped up. So sometimes you got to be patient. Give it a minute to load. And everything will show up. These are all the kiddie shows and everything. So, classic tunes, music videos, so I'm going to come out of that. But as y'all can see, this is how you know when to pay your bill. It'll let you know when your cable is going to expire to the bottom. The way payments are made, you simply Cash App or Zelle me. You don't have to inbox me and let me know that you're going to make a payment. You don't have to email me and say, hey, I'm sending the payment. Just send the payment. I'll automatically turn it on. Once I receive that Cash App, I get it. Sometimes we forget. We mix dates. Don't worry about it. I don't charge late fees. That's the beauty about my cable app. I don't charge late fees. I don't charge reconnect fees. You just pay your $25 whenever you get the money, and we cut it on. Now, for those who Cash App or whatever, it will be an extra $2 for transaction fee. So although the cable is $25, send $27 if you Cash App. If you Zelle, you don't have to send no extra, just the $25. But for all Cash App payments, it has to be $27, an extra $2 for a transaction fee. But you still can't beat that, because at the end of the day, these cable companies, they want more. So any questions or concerns, I think I just about hit everything. Like I said, get as many Fire Sticks as you need per TV. If you know, most of the time y'all watch 2 TVs, get 2 Fire Sticks, okay? It'll be $25 for up to 2 lines. You got 3 TVs, a third TV you want to add in that, then that's another $5. So that'll be $30. You got 4 TVs, add another $5, that's $35. So that's pretty much the name of the game. Like I said, I can't do less than 2 lines. Some people may be like, well, all I watch is 1 TV. That's cool. If you know somebody else who got a Fire Stick, give them your information so they can use your second line. Maybe your son in college, your daughter on her job or whatever. You could take your Fire Stick with you when you go on vacation. That's the beauty. Also, take your cable with you. You're going on a cruise boat. You're going out of town, and you know sometimes these hotels, they don't have the best cable selections. Take your Fire Stick with you. You could take your cable where you go. Only thing I recommend is that you don't forget and leave your Fire Stick there, and then you got to purchase another one from me. But they're great to take with you. You go out of town, you're going on a cabin trip. You know, you can take your cable with you. You know, sometimes you go visit your family. Everybody don't have cable. Take a Fire Stick with you. Now, this is the other thing. If you do recommend and send other people to me, I would knock $5 off of your cable for every customer that comes to me and actually buy it. So if you currently got cable with me and paying $25 right now, you send a friend and Kiki decides that she wants to buy my cable, I'm going to knock $5 off. Now you pay $20. Now you decide to send April to me and April wants to buy my cable, I knock off another $5. Now you pay just $15. So for everybody you send to me, I'm going to knock it all the way down to your bill gets to $10. And $10, that's the minimum payment. That's as low as I will go. So if you could bring a few people to me, guess what? Your 9,000 package is only be $10. You can't lose either way it go. So anyway, hopefully I answered the majority of everything, all of the questions, any concerns, certain channels, certain movies you would like to know about. You are welcome to email me, inbox me. But I wanted to do this presentation because a lot of people seem to be confused and not sure of how my cable really operates. So it has nothing to do with packages. It's a matter of how many lines you want. But either way, you're saving a lot of money. So hopefully this answers the majority of the questions, and I look forward to being your cable provider. Y'all have a blessed day. Talk with y'all soon.